When you start looking at cybersecurity, one of the areas you start wondering is, am I spending my budget the correct way? When you start looking at an individual, we usually associate attacks or threats as external attacks. But realistically, 60% of our attacks are coming from a user, an internal user that's inadvertently or maliciously accidentally doing something. That individual might have just copied something accidentally to an area they shouldn't be. They copied into an email, they copied that into another application, they sent it over. Or they might have even put something on a thumb drive that's work related. Or they might just use another computer to log on and do work. Is that allowed? Is that part of your user policy? And you're in a traditional DLP solution, a lot of times you can inspect every single copy, every single email, every single file that gets put on a thumb drive, or every single device. And ultimately, the individual device might not be a big deal, but the fact is if I'm copying sensitive data to an email and sending it to my personal, that might be a big deal. But using user activity monitoring, we can actually identify and score each individual from 0 to 100 based on actions, based on what we refer to as IOBs, or indicators of behavior. We have about 100 different indicators of behavior. Now, why is indicator of behavior important? If someone just copying a file, a piece of text, that might not be malicious. But if I'm copying hundreds of files, if I am maybe a threat actor that's now pretending to be an insider, where I'm actually copying files and uploading them to a website, that might, depending on the amount of data I'm pushing, that would increase my score to 100. So we're not looking at individual events, we're looking at the culmination of multiple events as they tie to over 100 different indicators of behavior, and then scoring that individual user on, is that something they need to alert? And based on that data, we might find that there's only 8 users that our SOC might actually need to look at. And from that SOC, they can say, you know what, by monitoring the individuals, their actions, we can start identifying what's really important. Is it what they're doing on the system that's important? Do I have to monitor every single DLP? Do I need to create a policy for every single DLP? Or do I have to look at the overall posture of that user? The overall posture, is he logging in from or network I don't trust? Is he using a thumb drive? Or maybe he's not using a thumb drive, maybe he's uploading a lot of data to a country we don't trust. Ultimately, that changes your risk score. It will go up and down based on the user's actions over time, based on the profile we've created for them, based on how the user compares to an individual user group, maybe how they normally do business, maybe they're 8 to 5, maybe they work nights. And if we start seeing morning hours now that we normally don't see, or if we see longer hours than normal, we start scoring them higher. Or in some cases, if they're moving more data to their personal, or if they're using different devices, that creates a different risk score.